If your faith feels heavy right now, you might not be failing. You might be spiritually burned out. Praying feels harder. Church feels like one more thing to do. And you keep asking yourself, am I doing something wrong? Am I just lazy? So in this video, I want to show you 5 red flags of spiritual burnout and 3 simple ways to start healing today. So I've seen a lot of people struggle with this, including many pastors. They care. They keep showing up. They're doing the right things, but spiritual burnout can hide really well. So you're serving, you're leading, you're smiling, you're saying the right things, and you still feel completely worn down. It's really important to identify what's happening here. The first red flag is this: the things that were once life-giving now feel heavy. Connecting with other people, it's more difficult. Prayer kind of seems flat. Church feels like effort, one more thing to get through. And it's frustrating because you think, wait a minute, this used to help me, right? Why doesn't it help me anymore? It's not necessarily that you don't believe in God anymore. It's that you're tired. Like Pharisees in Jesus' time, making everything about faith very heavy and burdensome. But Jesus was light. He was life-giving. And when you're consistently overloaded, even good things can start to feel like burdens. When burnout sets in, you start feeling guilty and you don't have any energy for the things that used to give you life. And that's a red flag. The second red flag is that you become more irritable and numb and cynical than usual. You might be a little shorter with people, less patient, a little less open, maybe more detached, and you feel kind of this numbness, like you really just don't care anymore. And this is important. Spiritual burnout doesn't always look like tears. Sometimes it just looks edgy. You're not falling apart on the outside. You're just worn thin and you're irritable on the inside. And things, begin to get under your skin faster. And you keep asking yourself, what is wrong with me? Maybe not as much as you might think. This is what happens when you've been overloaded for too long. You start protecting yourself. You start shutting down, pulling away, withdrawing. This is all part of protection. Pay attention to this because this is a red flag. Now, the third red flag is when God feels distant and you really aren't sure what to do about it. You still believe, you still want God, but it feels distant. You pray and it feels quiet. You try to reconnect and you just feel tired. Questions like, well, maybe God is disappointed in me, or maybe I did something wrong, or maybe my faith is weaker somehow than I thought. But feeling distant is not rejection. Sometimes, my friends, it's flat out exhaustion. And exhausted people aren't usually in a good place to make conclusions about God's heart towards them. Burnout can distort things. It can make everything feel dimmer than it really is. Okay, the fourth red flag is so important. You know you need rest, but resting makes you feel guilty. So even when you stop, you don't really stop. Your body slows down, but your mind keeps going. You sit down to breathe, and instead of finding peace, you just feel bad. Like you should be doing more, or praying more, or helping more, or producing more, or holding more together. That's a major warning sign, because when burnout gets deep enough, rest no longer feels possible. Rest feels irresponsible. And when that happens, it becomes less about relationship and it becomes more about pressure and performing. That is exhausting. And it's a major red flag. And let me pause right here, because if this feels uncomfortably familiar, I understand. I want you to read through the 5-day spiritual reset we have. It's simple. It's written for pastors and people who feeling spiritually tired. And I'll put the link below and you can have it for free. Now, the 5th red flag happens to a lot of people, including many pastors. Part of you keeps wanting out. Not out of faith, maybe not out of your whole life, but out of the pressure, out of the expectations, out of the constant carrying. And you find yourself thinking, I wish I could just disappear for a little while. I want everybody to stop needing something from me right now. I can't keep living at this pace. And that's really important, because burnout often speaks through escape. Escape isn't quitting. It's needing space to recover. It's your soul saying, I need relief. I need air. I need room. I can't keep carrying this much for this long. That doesn't make you weak. It makes you depleted. And it's better to listen to that honestly than to ignore it until everything crashes. So if 2 or 3 of these red flags feel familiar, take a breath. It's going to be okay. This doesn't mean your faith is broken. It doesn't mean God is done with you. And it doesn't mean that you're a failure. It may simply mean that you've been carrying too much for too long. And spiritual burnout is not always a sign that you need to try harder or do more. Very often, it's a sign that you need less performance, less pretending, less pressure, more honesty, more rest, more room to be human. So how do we begin to heal from it? I want to offer you 3 simple things. First, I want you to name the pain. What feels heavy right now? And I want you to answer honestly, not the spiritual answer, the real one, right? I'm tired of being needed. I feel numb. I feel disappointed. I feel guilty all the time. I don't know how to rest anymore, or I'm angry, or I'm scared. I'm just too tired. Once you've named it, I want you to pray this prayer. Jesus, I'm feeling spiritually burned out. Will you help me know how to rest and to put down what I can and to just rest in you? And that's the second thing. I want you to plan rest. I want you to grab your planner, your Google Calendar, whatever it is that you use, and I want you to plan space for rest. Do it weekly. Try to arrange it so that you get an entire day of rest every week to do things that rejuvenate you. Nothing else. Clear out the whole day for you and your family. Third, I want you to put something down. I want you to look at your work, your schedule, and I want you to identify one thing you literally can drop. One thing you will no longer be carrying that you're not responsible for anymore. And I want you to get rid of it altogether or hand it off to somebody if you need to. But you get the idea. Put it down to give yourself some margin. My friends, burnout is serious. It can lead to depression. It can lead to other health issues. So if you've been feeling heavy and cynical and distant and maybe guilty, like you want to escape, you may be spiritually burned out. You're not weak. You're not failing. You just need a little bit of soul care. I want you to name that pain. I want you to plan the rest. And then I want you to put something down. Get rid of it. And if this video found you at the right time, I want you to just write the word reset in the comments. And if you do, I'm going to pray for you today. I want you to know that God loves you, and so do I. And we're going to see you in the next video.